Russell tried to understand the philosophical and political causes and consequences of rebels. On one hand, we have the classic rebel who revolts against the lack of material needs. The necessity of a systematic philosophy is relativized in his case. Winning over the other side is the only important thing. On the other hand, we have the figure of the rebellious aristocrat, and precisely in this case, the saying that the world is seen with the eyes of the stomach is invalidated. While one side rebels for bread, the other throws and risks every material opportunity for something else. Lord Byron can be placed in this second figure of the rebel. In this aristocratic rebellion, Russell includes those men whose philosophy aspires to something higher than their personal success. It may be that the love of power is the secret source of their discontent, but in their conscious thought there is a criticism of the government of the world, which, if deep enough, takes the form of a cosmic, titanic self-reproach. The element of essential self-affirmation transcends the realm of the everyday and the value system of superficial measures. He reaches out to the supernatural realms, concentrating with all his strength precisely on everyday life and its transformation. These aspects pointed out by Russell can be found equally in the life and work of the poet. Byron's Titanianism in Childe Harold is seen in the praises he weaves to freedom and the shake he wants to cause to the old order. Byron's titanic rebellion starts first against his fellow countrymen, who force him to make the decision to leave, towards a journey of discovery, fulfillment, and affirmation. The freedom gained by rebellion is first against the worldly and towards nature. The Titanic rebellion is expressed as resistance to the materialistic society of the time, with its customs, intrigues, interests, and narrow worldview of the city. The free air of the forest, of the mountain, of the greenery in the bay, of which the forms of the castles or monasteries of other times are still visible, lies as an open invitation to the Byronic spirit. Byron feels the melancholic soul and the lost relationship with it in the modern civic world. This the poet sings in Canto the 3rd, 13. Where rose the mountains, there to him were friends. Where rolled the ocean, thereon was his home. Where blue sky, and glowing clime, extends. He had the passion and the power to roam. The desert, forest, cavern, breakers foam. Were unto him companionship, they spake. A mutual language, clearer than the tone of his land's tongue, which he would oft forsake. For nature's pages glassed by sunbeams on the lake. We see Byron's Titanianism in his rebellion, as a Prometheus whose fiery gift is the poetic word, and in the fusion with nature, too often preferred to the modern city, where the sound of footsteps in the street conveys in the air vices and humanity's decay. Unlike Russell, we would call Olympian this aspect of self-affirmation and internal conflict. This is the freedom towards one's own finitude, towards oneself. Byron's tendency towards heights starts from the question posed above: why does the Byronian aristocrat rebels? Because of his fullness of power and potentiality. Fulfillment is not material, need is not lacking in these shocking, rare, and isolated souls, whose isolation consumes the world, producing new paradigms. Byron rebels because he has something to give, and not because of lack, because freedom is first inside and then in the twists and turns of law and states, for life is too narrow if it is simply lived. His Olympianism is seen as a necessary and unbearable tendency for spiritual self-affirmation, at any cost. Byronic Olympism goes on to be what it is, without stopping. But quiet to quick bosoms is a hell. And there hath been thy bane, there is a fire, and motion of the soul, which will not dwell in its own narrow being, but aspire beyond the fitting medium of desire. and, but once kindled, quenchless evermore. Praise upon high adventure, nor can tire of aught but rest, a fever at the core, fatal to him who bears, to all who ever bore. To ignite this spirit of self-affirmation, support the work of Apollo's arrow. Subscribe, like, comment, click the notification bell and follow us on Twitter. Thank you and may the light be with you.